My name is Ryan, and today I want to welcome you to the Mind Over Media podcast. Hope everyone is doing well. Today, on this episode, we will be discussing something that was hugely talked about from 2023 to 2024, and that is TikTok's AI Bold Glamour filter. I'm not sure if you guys remember it, but I remember this very well. It's still posted on TikTok to this day, and this filter gave a transformation that would make people want to get plastic surgery.
So I've been seeing the bold glamour filter trending again, and I've been confused because I'm like, how have we already done that? How have we got past that? But apparently, there's a new one. So that's what the big fuss is about, and I want to try it. Oh yeah, whoa.
I see why y'all ask people to post without the filter. Like, I see why y'all might see a baddie and be like, now let's see it without the filter. Because like that ass, this filter really gave me a whole new face. Like, I don't look anything like that. Maybe with some fire ass contour.
Yes, so today we just want to talk about the conversation surrounding AI beauty filters and how they influence people's attitudes, confidence, and just overall self-image. Now, social media filters are not new, but the Bold Glamour filter stood out because it looked extremely realistic, like model material. Unlike older filters, it looked like extremely realistic. Other filters could be easy to recognize, but this filter completely reshaped how filters look and also your facial features in real time. It smoothed your skin texture, so if you had any blemishes, like it would immediately take them away once you put the filter on. Unlike older filters that were easy to recognize, this filter completely reshaped facial features in real time. Just a few things it had done: it smoothed skin texture, adjusted facial symmetry, lifted cheekbones, reshaped jawlines, and even altered lighting to make users appear like professionally enhanced. What made the situation more concerning was that the filter moved naturally with facial expression, so it looked super real. For me, this may be been the beginning of AI. For me, noticing what AI could do, but it did all that, making it difficult to distinguish between reality and digital, which is, doesn't really sound like the best problem to have. As the filter went viral, many users began posting reaction videos showing themselves with and without the filter, showing the drastic difference and, just not really understanding what was going on. News outlets and psychologists started discussing emotional reactions reported by users. A lot of people admitted that after seeing the filter version of themselves, turning this filter off caused disappointment, insecurity, or dissatisfaction with their natural appearance. This reaction created a larger discussion about how technology influences attitudes towards beauty and self-worth. Okay, to understand why this happened, we can apply concepts directly from chapter 7. It focused on attitudes and attitude change. An attitude is defined as an evaluation of a person, object, or an idea. Attitudes influence how people think, feel, and behave. Psychologists explain that attitudes are made up of emotional reactions, beliefs, and behavioral tendencies. Social media environments constantly expose individuals to images and messages that shape these evaluations over time. One important concept from Chapter 7 is affectively based attitudes. Affectively based attitudes are attitudes formed primarily through emotional responses rather than logical reasoning. Beauty standards are often emotionally driven rather than fact-based. It's about how you feel, like, for real, at the end of the day. People do not analyze beauty scientifically. Instead, they react emotionally to what they see. It makes sense. You gotta love yourself. I think so. So when users used this bold glamour filter and they saw this smooth skin, this symmetrical facial features, many experienced immediate positive emotions, such as confidence, excitement, or satisfaction. These emotions reactions strengthen attitudes about what attractive appearance should look like. Even though users logically understood that the filter was artificial, the emotional experience still felt real. This demonstrates an important psychological idea. When attitudes are formed emotionally, they are much harder to change using facts alone. Someone may know intellectually that social media images are edited, but they may still feel negatively about how they look. Emotion often overrides logic when attitudes are effectively based. Another key concept from Chapter 7 that helps explain this situation is the elaboration likelihood model of persuasion. This model explains how people are influenced through two different routes known as the central route and the peripheral route. The central route to persuasion occurs when individuals carefully think about information and evaluate arguments logically. This type of persuasion requires motivation and attention. For example, someone reaching health information or academic material may carefully analyze evidence before forming an opinion. The bold glamour filter itself became a powerful persuasive cue. Users weren't just logically evaluating beauty standards while scrolling. Instead, they reacted automatically to visually enhanced faces that appeared flawless. Repeated exposure through the peripheral route strengthened attitudes about what is considered attractive, essentially. Another important factor from Chapter 7 connected to this issue is cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance occurs when individuals experience psychological discomfort due to conflicting beliefs or behaviors. For example, many users believe in self-acceptance and natural beauty. However, after seeing an enhanced version of themselves through the filter, some individuals prefer the filtered appearance. This created conflict between personal beliefs and emotional reactions. On one hand, they valued authenticity. On the other hand, they felt more confident using the filter. This internal conflict produces discomfort. According to cognitive dissonance, people are more motivated to reduce discomfort. Some users reduce dissonance by convincing themselves that filters are harmless. Others change their beliefs about beauty standards or begin using more filters frequently to maintain positive feelings. Chapter 7 also explains that the attitudes influence behavior. After repeated exposure to ideal images, individuals may begin changing behaviors to match those standards. This may include increased makeup use. I see that all the time. Cosmetic procedures, which we see more and more in the world today, and editing photos, which is a part of our time. These behavioral changes demonstrate how attitudes shaped by media and exposure can influence real-world decisions. Another concept related to attitude change is repeated exposure. The more often individuals encounter a stimulus, the more familiar and acceptable it becomes. Constant exposure to filtered faces may slowly redefine what people perceive as normal appearance. Over time, unrealistic beauty standards can begin to feel ordinary. Social influence also plays an important role. Humans naturally seek social approval and belonging. When users observe large numbers of people using filters and receiving positive feedback, they may feel pressure to conform. This conformity strengthens shared attitudes within the online communities. It is also important to consider resistance to persuasion. Some individuals recognize manipulation and actively reject unrealistic standards. Education and media awareness can help people critically evaluate persuasive messages rather than accepting them automatically. Understanding psychological processes allows individuals to recognize when attitudes are being shaped by emotional or peripheral influences. This controversy highlights how technology interacts with social psychology. The issue is not simply about a filter, it reflects how digital environments influence emotional responses, persuasions, and identity information. Social media platforms create spaces where attitudes can change rapidly due to constant exposure and reinforcement. Understanding these psychological concepts helps individuals become more aware of how media affects self-perception. Awareness allows people to separate digital enhancement from reality and develop healthier attitudes towards appearance and self-worth. All right, so to wrap it up, the TikTok bold glamour filter controversy provides a clear real-world example of Chapter 7 concepts in action. Effectively based attitudes explain emotional reactions to beauty standards. The elaboration likelihood model explains how persuasion occurs through quick visual cues. Cognitive dissonance explains the discomfort many users experience after comparing filtered and natural appearances. Together, these concepts demonstrate how attitudes are formed, strengthened, and sometimes used through media exposure. Psychology helps us understand that attitudes are not formed in isolation. They are shaped by emotional experiences, social environments, and persuasive communication. By recognizing these influences, individuals can make more informed decisions about how they engage with the media and how they evaluate themselves. Thank you all for listening to the Mind Over Media. I hope this episode has showed you how social psychology connects directly to the real world that we live in every day, even TikTok. Y'all have a good one.